Sibley.
Is that okay? Yeah? I probably don't need a microphone. I'm an ex-secondary teacher and I can really project my voice. Okay, so my union has policy to support the people of Palestine and to call for a ceasefire. And so I'm here in solidarity with the health workers and everyone else who's doing this action today as a retired NEU member, National Education Union member. And I'd also like to say I'm very proud to see, as an ex-secondary school teacher, secondary school students here today. I know some people say, oh, they shouldn't be doing this, they should be concentrating on their exams and their education. But sorry, learning about what's happening in the world is part of their education. And I know, even I'm local from Dorchester, but I worked in London for some years, and I remember on the first day of the bombing of Baghdad, the students at my school in London walked out in protest. And you know what? None of them failed their exams because of it, and many of them, most of them I would say, are probably very proud today that they took that action because they were proved right. Okay, so I remember very strongly one time when I was teaching in London, a Jewish colleague coming to me to thank me for supporting her. She'd been the victim of a very pleasant and unpleasant anti-Semitic attack. And I said, well, of course I'd support you. Anti-Semitism is horrible, like any other form of racism, and I'll treat it just as seriously. And she said to me, but can I ask you, if ever a Palestinian student, because we were a multicultural school, yeah, with refugees, asylum seekers from all over the place, so if ever a Palestinian student says something that sounds anti-Semitic, can you please not be too hard on them? Because it's possible, she has just been the victim of this attack, yeah, and she was saying this, because it's possible that the only Jews that they've met before are members of the Israeli army who bulldozed their house, shot their dad, arrested their brother or whatever. So don't be too hard on them, okay? And I thought, bless you. She understood. And then we come to what happened after October the 7th, which was horrible, a horrible day. And what's happened since is horrible on a bigger scale. And we hear Israeli ministers and army chiefs saying, but if this had happened to you, your country would do the same. And I'm thinking, well, okay, so if years ago, when the IRA were, for whatever reason and however you feel about their reasoning, doing what they did, imagine that one day there was a time when hundreds and hundreds of Brits were killed by them. What action would have happened? Well, it wouldn't have been good. We know that because we know about Bloody Sunday, we know about internment without trial, whatever. It wouldn't have been pleasant what happened, what followed that. But I just feel quite confident we wouldn't have been able to cordon off West Belfast, Derry Bogside, and the villages of South Armagh, not let in any food, water, electricity or medical supplies, and then carpet bomb them. And if Britain had tried to do that, I feel quite confident that America would have stopped it. And the fact that that is not applying to what's happening in Palestine now, with all those people, including children, being killed, just shows how, unfortunately, for many in the West, Arab lives are not being treated with enough value. And one of the things as a teacher, that, just like a health worker, that we have to say is that everyone's life is of equal value. Thank you.
Thank you, Auntie.